Support WrestleTalk!
Be friendly in the comments.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk Super News. I'm a hungover Ollie Davis from last night's WrestleTalk Christmas party, where we just played Super Smash Bros. All night on the GameCube, because we're hipsters and only use consoles that are at least 2 generations out of date. Press the thumbs up, buy a WrestleTalk t-shirt by clicking the eye above my head. Don't know why I reference this one because it's not a WrestleTalk t-shirt, and leave a comment down below because I'll be replying to people from out of nowhere. We've got a ridiculously enormous show for you today, with news on several major WWE storylines being dropped because of the new era, a big push reportedly in store for Finn Balor, and details on the huge deals WWE offered Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks to sign with the promotion. But first, Lars Sullivan is lurking. Oh God, there he is. Just lurks like that. One person who isn't so intimidated, though, by anyone it seems, is the man Becky Lynch, who slapped him down quicker than you can say Stephanie McMahon opening Raw promo with Kurt Angle. The video packages promoting Lars' call up to the main roster have been mostly built around how he lurks, which just sounds weird, and that he's a freak. And staying true to the gimmick, he lurked into the latest Twitter spat between Becky and Ronda Rousey. After Lynch made fun of Ronda for getting knocked out by Holly Holm in the UFC and called her a freak, Lars lurked into the conversation, re-quoting that post and correcting, "I'm the freak." To which Becky just replied with the Conor McGregor, "Who the F word is that guy?" gif. Absolutely spot on Irish accent. It proved to be a knockout punch, as Lars then deleted his initial tweet for Becky to point out, "Think I broke Lars." Sullivan conceded, tweeting and then deleting again. "Just got nailed by the man. Had to delete." Lynch has bigger things to worry about though, as WWE have announced she'll be getting a SmackDown Women's title match against Asuka at next month's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And they said automatic rematch clauses were antiquated. We're not going through changes. No, we're not. The big-time bout was revealed by Scott Stanford during this week's recap episode of Main Event, which isn't the most dramatic way to make the announcement, because I often forget Main Event is still a thing. It's remarkable how over Becky has become in the last few months of 2018, main eventing last Sunday's TLC pay-per-view, and being so popular most fans, me included, also want to see her win the Women's Royal Rumble match to take on Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, which is the subject of the brand new fantasy booking warfare between Luke and Laurie that will go up this weekend. This is largely thanks to Becky's excellent promo work on TV and Twitter. Promo work that Vince McMahon thought was no good, as Dave Meltzer points out in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. While Bliss, Carmella, Nia Jax, the one heel with the size and monster push from the start to have credibility working with Rousey, and Ronda Rousey, celebrity star, were being pushed, the one who got over was Becky Lynch, largely due to her promos and later use of social media. And the mentality only a few months ago was that, due to her accent, her promo work wasn't effective. And she's not the only Irish accented wrestler WWE are apparently going to get behind for next year. The Observer is also reporting Finn Balor is about to get a significant push, at least for a little while, in WWE. Sounds so promising, the little while bit. Balor has had a stop-start run in WWE since his main roster call-up, after holding the NXT Championship for 292 days. Finn became Raw's first ever Universal Champion just a few weeks after debuting on the show. Sadly, an injury sustained in that match forced him to relinquish the title the very next night, and the company has been hesitant to fully get behind him again ever since, keeping him firmly in the mid-card and earning the nickname here at WrestleTalk as Pin Balor. But after reports from 2017 that Vince didn't think Finn was over enough to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at the 2018 Royal Rumble, and a year of mid-card filler feuds, hopefully WWE properly get behind him again in the new era. Or maybe they'll drop all those plans after a few weeks like they did with everything else this month. Following a run of record low ratings for Raw and SmackDown in November and December, which was all Baron Corbin's fault, Vince McMahon returned to WWE TV with his children Shane, Stephanie, and Triple H McMahon to announce a new era where we, the fans, are the authority. They promised changes and new faces, with 6 NXT call-ups to the main roster being unveiled, although they're yet to debut, and the seeming transition of 205 Live wrestlers to Raw and SmackDown, with Mustafa Ali joining Tuesday nights. While change is definitely needed in WWE, where Monday Night Raw has put on some of its worst shows since the brand split 2 years ago, this does come at the expense of several long-term storylines the main roster were building. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, any fallout to SmackDown losing every main show match at Survivor Series to Raw has been dropped, along with the Lucha House Party Rules storyline with the Revival, but the main victims are the authority figures. Paige, of course, was removed as SmackDown General Manager at the start of this week's episode, and Meltzer writes that Alexa Bliss is an authority figure, where she was made the General Manager of Raw's Women's Division a month ago, has also been dropped. She was apparently originally set to replace Baron Corbin. It's all your fault, Corbin! As the overall General Manager of Raw, following him losing his job at TLC. The largest of these scrapped storylines, however, appears to be Shane McMahon's long-reported heel turn, that was set up by him winning the Best in the World trophy at November's Crown Jewel last month. Shane was supposed to slowly become more and more egotistical, with a big angle solidifying the turn in January to build to a WrestleMania 35 match, which the No Holds Barred podcast claimed would be against a babyface version of The Miz. While this could still happen, as Miz trying to form a tag team with Shane was featured on this week's New Era episode of SmackDown, the authority figure dimension to the storyline appears to have been dropped, with GMs not being a thing anymore on the main roster. Come 2019, though, the new era might not just apply to WWE. It very well could be for the wrestling business as a whole. Big changes are coming, segue! As if New Japan and ROH uniting against WWE on WrestleMania weekend wasn't enough, with the two promotions putting on a joint show that sold out Madison Square Garden, making it the first non-WWE wrestling show at MSG ever. 2019 will likely also see the debut of the new promotion All Elite Wrestling. AEW will reportedly be financed by sports millionaire Tony Khan and will be run by the All-In team of Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. An announcement is expected in January for the first shows to begin in late 2019. The global wrestling landscape is about to change, and wrestlers are finding themselves as very valuable chess pieces. And likely because everything could change in just a few weeks' time with AEW's announcement, Ring of Honor are doing all they can to lock talent down. In addition to the recent signings of Brody King and PCO, who have joined Marty Scurll's new Villain Enterprises faction, ROH have now officially confirmed the signing of the brilliant British wrestler Mark Haskins, who will start for the promotion in January. Haskins himself tweeted, "I've officially signed with ROH. 2019 is gonna go down. Keep watching. #TheBrass." PJ Black, who wrestled as Justin Gabriel in the Nexus for WWE, has also been announced for the January shows. But crucially for ROH, they've signed 2018 breakout star Bandido, who was one of the key guys AEW was looking to bring in after his spectacular performance in All In's main event. The Wrestling Observer says the reason he opted for ROH over the yet-to-be-announced AEW was because the latter did not have an actual offer on paper, and that the Elite didn't yet have a television deal, specific info, or dates on a schedule. Ring of Honor, however, offered excellent money guaranteed for not a lot of dates, national television exposure in the US in a promotion where he'll be pushed, and a connection with New Japan. Apparently, despite WWE offering Bandido a very high money deal, ROH's contract was worth even more money and still gave him a lot of freedom to work elsewhere. It's a fascinating time for the business, where wrestlers can turn down WWE offers and still make a very good living elsewhere. And nowhere is that more true than with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. Cody and the Bucks bid farewell to ROH at the post-Final Battle TV tapings last weekend, and they've since confirmed they won't be on the big ROH New Japan show at Madison Square Garden. When wrestlers leave Ring of Honor, they usually show up in the crowd at next month's NXT TakeOver show for WWE. But because this truly is a new era in some ways, The Observer is reporting Cody and the Bucks turned down a huge money WWE deal to pursue their own promotion. According to the newsletter, 3 of the 4 in the Elite turned down WWE main event money, multi-year deals for more than 7 figures annually. That idea is one that almost nobody in wrestling could have possibly conceived of being offered, let alone turned down, as recently as a year ago. But that was before All In was a success. Has the WrestleMania 35 main event been leaked? Find out the shocking news by clicking the video on screen now, and give us a subscribe to keep up to date with all the latest wrestling news. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.